What if one single decision inside Prada's highest boardroom quietly rewrote the future of global fashion forever? And the name whispered behind that closed door was Kim Taehyung. Is this coincidence, strategy, or the beginning of a secret global deal that no one was supposed to notice? What if everything you thought you knew about fashion ambassadors, brand loyalty, and celebrity partnerships was suddenly wrong? What if the constant presence of Taehyung at Prada events was never accidental, never just styling, never coincidence at all? And what if the CEO of Prada himself quietly dropped a bomb so powerful that it sent shockwaves through the fashion world, but only those who were truly paying attention noticed it? Before you read further, pause for a second. Ask yourself this: why Taehyung every single time? If you feel your curiosity burning, if you feel your emotions already rising, don't just read. Comment your thoughts, hit like and subscribe, because this story is bigger, deeper, and far more emotional than anyone expected. From the very first moment Taehyung appeared connected to Prada, fans felt something different. Not excitement alone, not admiration alone, but a strange intuition that something bigger was unfolding behind the scenes. Why did cameras linger longer? Why did executives smile wider? Why did fashion insiders suddenly whisper his name in rooms where idols were rarely mentioned? These were not random questions, they were clues. And now, those clues are forming a picture so shocking that even seasoned industry veterans are struggling to process it. The phrase "CEO dropped a bomb" is not an exaggeration. It is not clickbait for the sake of noise. It is a reflection of how a single comment, a subtle acknowledgement, and a carefully chosen silence reshaped the narrative overnight. Because when the CEO of a heritage luxury brand like Prada signals preference, especially repeatedly, it is never meaningless. In luxury, repetition is intention. And intention, when aimed at a single global figure like Taehyung, becomes a statement that cannot be ignored. Taehyung's presence at Prada events has long sparked debate. Some called it brand chemistry, others called it marketing genius. But a growing number of fans and analysts began asking more dangerous questions. Why does Taehyung appear aligned with Prada's most important moments? Why is he associated with not just clothing, but mood, atmosphere, and narrative? Why does his image seem to blend seamlessly into Prada's evolving identity, as if the brand itself is being redefined around him? Behind closed doors, luxury brands do not speak in public announcements alone. They speak through access, through seating arrangements, through invitations extended and withheld. Taehyung was not merely invited, he was placed at the center of attention, placed in moments that mattered, placed where cameras could not look away. This is not coincidence. This is choreography. The rumored global deal did not emerge from thin air. It emerged from patterns. Patterns fans noticed before media dared to ask. Patterns in how Taehyung was styled, how his presence was framed, how his name began appearing in the same breath as Prada's future direction. This was not the typical ambassador narrative where a celebrity wears a brand. This felt inverted. It felt as though Prada was wearing Taehyung. Emotionally, this revelation hits hard for fans, because Taehyung is not just a fashion figure. He is an artist shaped by vulnerability, discipline, and an unshakable sense of self. To see a brand like Prada seemingly align its identity with his presence feels validating and terrifying. Validating because it confirms his global influence. Terrifying because it raises the question, how far does this go? When whispers began circulating that Taehyung was being chosen from every event, fans initially laughed it off. Surely not every event, surely that was exaggeration. But then photos surfaced, timelines aligned, absences of others became noticeable. And suddenly the exaggeration felt eerily accurate. Taehyung was not everywhere, but he was everywhere that mattered. The CEO's words, though carefully measured, ignited everything. Not because of what was said explicitly, but because of what was implied. In luxury branding, implication is power, and the implication was clear. Taehyung is not a temporary face. He is a long-term vision. This is where emotions peak, because fans understand something many outsiders miss. Taehyung does not chase brands. Brands chase relevance, and relevance today is not about logos, it is about authenticity, emotional resonance, and cultural gravity. Taehyung carries all three in a way few global figures ever have. The shock was not that Prada noticed him. The shock was that Prada appeared to center him. And when a heritage brand shifts its center, it signals a transformation. A transformation that could redefine luxury's relationship with global pop culture forever. Questions now flood every corner of the fandom. Is this a silent global ambassadorship evolving into something unprecedented? Is Taehyung influencing creative direction behind the scenes? Is this partnership redefining what it means to be a luxury muse in the modern era? And most importantly, why hasn't this been officially announced? Silence in this case speaks louder than confirmation, because silence allows anticipation to grow. Silence allows mystery to deepen. Silence allows fans to feel the emotional weight of being on the edge of something historic. This is not a fairy tale. This is not a myth. This is a real-time narrative unfolding in front of us, driven by strategy, vision, and cultural timing. Taehyung's journey with PRADA is not about clothing alone. It is about identity, influence, and the quiet power of presence. And perhaps the most emotional element of all is this: Taehyung never asked for this spotlight. He earned it by being unapologetically himself, by refusing to dilute his artistry, by standing at the intersection of vulnerability and strength. PRADA did not choose a trend. PRADA chose a soul. As fans, observers, and cultural witnesses, we are left with one final question that refuses to fade. Is this just the beginning? Or have we already crossed into a new era where luxury brands no longer dictate culture, but follow it? If this revelation shook you, if it made you question everything you thought you knew about fashion, influence, and Taehyung's global power, leave your thoughts in the comments, hit like and subscribe. Because this story is still unfolding, and what comes next may be even more shocking than the bomb already dropped. Fans began revisiting past moments with a new lens, replaying events that once felt ordinary but now seem loaded with meaning. That first PRADA appearance that sparked admiration, was it really just fashion, or was it a test? That second event, where Taehyung's presence eclipsed the entire show, was that coincidence or confirmation? The third time, when his image dominated social media despite no official campaign launch, was that organic buzz or a preview of something far bigger? Emotionally, this realization hits like a slow burn. It is not explosive chaos, it is quiet disbelief. The kind that makes your chest tighten as you connect dots you once ignored. Because when a CEO acknowledges a figure repeatedly without naming the full scope of the relationship, it is rarely because there is nothing to say. It is because what is coming cannot yet be contained. Inside the fashion world, power does not scream. It whispers. It moves behind velvet curtains and closed doors where decisions are made that shape years, not seasons. And the whisper surrounding Taehyung is growing louder. Insiders are no longer asking if he matters to PRADA. They are asking how much influence he already holds. This is where the emotional weight deepens for fans. Taehyung has always been perceived as an artist first, someone whose soul bleeds through music, expression, and presence. To see him positioned as a potential architectural pillar of a luxury brand's future is both exhilarating and unsettling. It challenges the old boundaries between idol and icon, between muse and collaborator. It forces the question: has Taehyung moved beyond being chosen and into the realm of choosing? Every time PRADA releases a new visual direction, fans notice echoes of Taehyung's aesthetic. The mood feels softer yet stronger, more introspective yet undeniably bold. Is it projection, or is it alignment? Because alignment does not happen accidentally at this level. It happens when a brand recognizes a cultural force that mirrors its own evolution. The rumored global deal becomes more believable with every unanswered question. Not because of leaked documents or confirmed statements, but because of emotional logic. Luxury brands survive by predicting the future, not reacting to the present. And Taehyung represents something the industry desperately needs: authenticity that cannot be manufactured, influence that does not rely on scandal, and a global reach that transcends language. Fans feel it in their instincts, that familiar tightening in the chest that says something big is coming. That feeling that history is quietly being written while the world argues over surface-level details. This is not about a logo on a jacket. This is about legacy. What truly shocks people is the possibility that Taehyung is not merely endorsing PRADA, but embodying its next chapter. A chapter where luxury no longer feels distant or untouchable, but emotional, human, and deeply resonant. A chapter where fashion is not worn but felt. The CEO's bomb was not meant to destroy. It was meant to signal. A signal to the industry, to competitors, and perhaps even to Taehyung himself. A signal that PRADA sees him not as a moment but as a movement. And yet the absence of confirmation keeps fans suspended in emotional limbo, because confirmation would end the mystery. Silence keeps it alive. Silence fuels discussion, speculation, and emotional investment. Silence turns fans into witnesses rather than consumers. As emotions rise, so do fears. Will this partnership restrict Taehyung's artistic freedom? Will it redefine him in a way that feels too corporate, too controlled? Or will it elevate him into a position where he reshapes luxury on his own terms? These questions do not come from doubt, they come from love. From a deep emotional connection fans feel toward an artist they want to see protected, not packaged. Yet Taehyung remains unchanged on the surface. Calm, grounded, almost defiant in his refusal to explain himself, and that perhaps is the most powerful statement of all. He does not need to justify his presence, he lets the world catch up. As the rumors continue to intensify, one truth becomes unavoidable. Whether announced or not, something irreversible has already happened. PRADA and Taehyung are now linked in the public consciousness. Their names echo together, their images intertwine, their futures feel strangely connected. This is no longer speculation for entertainment, this is cultural shift in progress. So now the question turns to you. Do you believe this is the beginning of a historic global partnership that will redefine fashion and fandom forever? Or do you think the silence hides a twist no one is prepared for? Whatever your answer, do not stay silent. Comment your thoughts, share this with fellow fans, hit like and subscribe, because this story is far from over. And the next revelation may change everything you thought you knew about Taehyung, PRADA, and the power of quiet decisions made behind closed doors.